My kids ate my brownie that I hid, so I decided to prank them. Octopuses by midnight. How much did you eat? I ate one bite. Hey, y'all. It's officially stepdaddy season. You know, I got the car seat in the back. I can't believe this happened. What do you think about California? You like it? Do you like it? You taking a shit? What you doing? I can't believe this happened. What do you think about California? You like it? Do you like it? You taking a shit? Gym rats use this sound to show pics of you in the gym versus outside the gym. Gym. Smile with him. Smile with him.
Alright. Now I'm ready. Now I is ready. I just had to check messages and emails and other shit. You know how you have some other shit sometimes? I had to check some other shit. Messages and emails and other shit. That other shit came out good though, cause in the email, I didn't read it yet. I didn't click on it, but James said, "Hello, Travis. It's up to you. What pieces you would like to put in this on display? No, or whatever for that art show."
So it doesn't have to be clean. It can be explicit.
Well, yo, I asked you specifically, can I show what I want? You said, and it seems like you're about to say, I can show whatever I want. So when I put my toe draw and my weed pictures up in there and my naked bitches and shit, don't be saying nothing to me. Oh, sorry, Mr. Prince, you can't put this on display here at our establishment. I asked you that before I brought the art down, bro. I've asked you that before I brought the art down. I really just want to finish this. I get that out there, get that new piece in there. Then I'll do. Normally for a show, they want 8 to 10 pieces. So I can do 2 toe draws.
Did you know you had gingerbread left?
Huh?
You knew you had gingerbread left?
2 of them in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, them the last 2.
I know. Because I put an extra one in there. You only had one in there. Well, yeah, so you said it's what?
November. First Friday, November.
Yeah, you'll be done by then.
I can get this done. So I have at least this piece. 2 toe draws. I still like the 2 I did of Jeff's, the community ones with the background on it. Put them 2 in there, that's 5. And then, I don't know, but those are all my newest ones.
Maybe something that's like the opposite of those things, just to give it a balance.
That's what I say. I love throwing my readers up in there, and I haven't had this out the house in a while.
That's what I'm saying. And I know like you be wanting to show stuff that hasn't been seen as much or newer stuff. I get that, but like all of your readers pieces, they're just reader pieces and just classic.
And the last 2 events I've had is all my art, yo.
And that's what I'm saying. You're gonna have people who do like toe draw, but that's gonna be like a kink thing, like, and that's for you, like the toe draw. The thing with Jess, I think a lot of people will like it because it's like. It says a lot, like it's urban, it's graffiti, but at the same time, like it's books, it's reading, it's powerful messages.
It's right there beside a Dezo too.
That's what I'm saying. So like that's perfect.
Yeah, and everybody look at it like, yo, you took that right outside. Like, yep, took that right there.
And the one thing about toe draw is that that'll be memorable. Like when they leave, nobody else is gonna have a foot photo with weed in it up there.
Nope. You need to I'll contact her. I asked her already.
The chick.
What's Rose's friend name?
Oh, Ronnie?
Miranda?
Ronnie, yeah.
Ronnie? I told her I need her for foot painting. When she came through, she had her feet all nice and done. I just ain't reached back out to her yet. But I think I might do like fruit or flowers. I still want to keep doing weed, honestly. But I might switch it up and do like fruit or flowers or something. But her and Rose asked me if I was free last weekend for photo shoots. I told her yeah, but I guess she got busy. She never hit me back.
She told you.
Oh yeah, about that thing. Yeah, that's a good excuse.
Yeah, so she probably still got like another week and a half. Week and a half.
Alright.
But Ronnie is pretty good about getting back, so yeah. I can always hit her up again.
I want Rose in my reader series. It's gonna be either her or Glennis. That caste system book that I finished reading. I need to put that in my reader series now. And then I might read the one that you had from the other black lady.
Yeah.
And then use that one.
Yeah, it would be cool to see Rose because you haven't done anything with her yet.
I want more dark-skinned people too, yo.
Yeah.
Like real dark-skinned people.
You still got that other lady too. Can't remember her name.
She never hit me back though.
I'll hit her up. Because when I asked her, she was off work.
Yeah. Oh, I'll contact you. Said she was on vacation or something. That was months ago now.
Yeah, I mean, one more shot. I really liked her.
Yeah. And then people, I don't know,
I
for some
really
reason
wish we
people
would.
don't take me serious when I say, hey, I need models. They're like,
And that's
oh,
the thing. I
whatever.
have so many models for you, but they're all in DC and Maryland, yeah.
I need these niggas to take me fucking serious.
Yeah.
If somebody asked me to model, I'd be hyping shit all day. Yo, son, I was at the gas station. This nigga just walk up, gave me a car. You see this car, man? He said, I'm model material, nigga. You fucking gonna paint me. You gonna do what? He said he gonna paint me. I'd be fucking hyped. Like, nobody don't get hyped like that. Like, I don't know. That's just me, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been asked to model before. It's exciting.
Yeah, I get fucking hyped.
But that's the thing, though. Like, somebody like me, right? Like, I'm pretty, but I'm not photogenic. So, like, I don't get as excited about modeling no more because unless you're a legit photographer, your pictures are probably gonna look like shit. That's just how I feel.
Let me get my drink.
I can't pour it if the shotgun's right there.
I said, let me get my drink.
Can you plan and schedule your social media marketer? Focus on your business or your social front and
Right?
center. Which means
Which means
you can do this.
I can skip this goddamn commercial.
And one of the things I want to talk to, because I haven't talked to you since the pandemic started. Last time I talked to you was Screwball, right? How long ago was that?
I didn't even touch it for that reason. I was like, let me drink my
before
vodka.
the shit hit the fan. That was the last time we talked. We were talking about that documentary. And then when all this happened, and so much of the wackiness and the
All right, I got two
controversies
emails to read. I got one from the Circle Gallery, the Wyoming Valley Arts League, and I got to read that other email from the Frame Shop.
Right.
Read those before bed.
And you, I mean, look about how much your work is about.
They said
the Cooking Cowboys.
So somebody has furniture to donate. One of our families who participate in our program definitely needs the furniture, so they were like, oh, we can coordinate this and we can get a U-Haul and we can get the furniture to the family in need. I'm like, that's awesome. You know all that shit about to fall on me now. And they're like, oh, Travis, when we have the U-Haul, we're going to have volunteers to help load and unload, but can you drive in, and then after you drop that off, can you come back over the Piston to the food bank and start getting food bank deliveries again? And it's on the 23rd. I was like, yo, I got something to do on the 22nd. I told, because Angie called me in the office, I was like, I'm not going to be here on the 22nd, but I'm almost positive I'll be to work that next day. Well, let me know if you can't make it, because we can just have somebody else do it or schedule it different or whatever. I'm like, no problem, I'll make sure I'm here. So I really, really doubt that I won't be here on the 23rd, but
Yeah. Because I didn't take the 23rd, I just took the 22nd.
So now it's food bank pickups again. But we still got like all those boxes of food in the pantry. Like we don't. Sushi, what's good, bro?
Yeah.
Yesterday, Sushi said all comments are the legal property of Bronx Sushi. Anyone caught using these comments unauthorized will be sued to the highest extent of the law.
Wow.
Sushi is not playing, nigga. You're like, yo, don't copy nothing I say in this bitch, bro. All this content is original. This is my intellectual property, and I will sue your ass first. I'll sue you first. Alright, so we got 2 commissions knocked out. I got 2 commissions I can do. Nobody gave me any money yet. I ain't really asking for the deposits yet. One of them is for my plug, and the only thing I don't know is what size canvas they want it on, because they actually got a painting from me earlier this year, and it was larger than my normal size canvas. It was larger than the 18 by 24. I remember that. I think it was, I can't remember if it was a 22 by 28 or 24 by 36. My mom was thinking it was a 22 by 28 or 24 by 28. But anyway, when I feel like getting started on another commission, that's the first question I need to ask them, like, what size canvas do you want? And then I'll hit them up with a price. And then I'll do that. But I definitely, like, this week and probably the duration of the weekend, I'm really just going to work on this piece right here, my own personal piece. I got invited to do a show in November, and so I would love to have a new piece in there. And I don't think Toe Drove Part 2 has been out the house. That's brand new too, because that ain't even wired or varnished yet. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do now. Before I start painting this, let's get Toe Drove number 2 wrapped all the way up and get it completed, like complete. Bruh, I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn. It's so addictive. I'm just really trying to push hours to get to the end, because the new one is coming out either this Christmas season or first quarter next year. I'm thinking maybe next year. And I think Horizon Zero Dawn, the new one, is going to be like a full-fledged PS5 game, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. But it will be, I think next year, they're going to start putting out PS5 exclusive. She got on a polka dot romper.
Chill.
A polka dot romper, yo.
This is my out. This is my in the house outfit.
Connect the dots. La 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 la. Connect the dots. Ain't no nigga still with a polka dot. Imagine me walking around in a polka dot shirt. What the fuck you got on, bro?
I bought you a polka dot shirt.
You ain't never bought me no polka dot shirt. Polka dot shirt?
It's not real polka dots, but that button up shirt that I got you that you wore one time, that blue one, that's polka dots on that.
Okay.
It's not like polka dots. It's dots.
That's a nice shirt.
That's a nice ass shirt. It's very similar to this. They're almost the same color.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Alright, so like I say, Donald Doyle. Whenever you're ready, bro. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I try to keep my commissions as cheap as possible, so as many people as possible can own a piece of my art. Now, this is my perfect cheap painting right here. I'm not gonna lie. I'll pull up. I'll show you exactly what I send to people. I have a preset message when somebody say, "Oh, can I get some art?" or "How much does your art cost?" or "What's the process?" It pops right up when I go to my notes. It says, "I would need to see the photo before I give a final price on a project." And then it says, so this is my description. My standard size canvas is an 18 by 24 inch canvas. This is an 18 by 24 inch canvas. 18 by 24. This is my standard size canvas. And my starting price is $400 plus shipping. Whatever it costs to ship. I live in Pennsylvania, so if you live in New Jersey, it'd be way cheaper for me to ship it to New Jersey than if you lived in California or Alaska. And so you have to pay for your own shipping. But my standard size canvas is an 18 by 24 inch, and my starting price is $400 plus shipping. I use PayPal and UPS for a portrait of one person from the bust up. Each additional face and larger canvas will increase the price. I also have 22 by 28, blah, 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 blah. I require $200 part. So this is my description of a $400 painting. I don't mind doing this right here for $400. It says 18 by 24. It's one person. It's from the bust up. And it's a solid background. The hat is kind of extra, whatever. And he has simple for me to do. I can do this for $400 and I won't feel like I'm getting shitted out of my money or getting shitted out of my time and effort, and I don't feel like I'm shitting my client out of their money. This is a good exchange for $400, something like this. But this is like the cheapest I can do anything, you know, and it's it's the bare bones is just a basic picture of a guy's face. And so yeah, whenever you're ready, you get some extra funds, you got an extra $400 laying around, yo, hit me up. And I'll paint you something like this. One person from the bust up with a solid background. I can do that pretty easy. How long it took me to finish this painting? Like a week, maybe?
If that.
Well,
Only a week because you were still finishing up
other paintings. Like I worked on it for about 2 weeks. And that's the other thing too. I asked for at least a month to finish the painting. So don't be like, oh, my cousin's getting married next week. I need a painting. Like, that's not gonna happen.
You're gonna have to pay to move to the front of the line.
You're gonna have to pay big money to move to the front. Motherfucker, everybody, any piece I work on, I already got a deposit from the person. I don't start art without a deposit. So if you want to jump somebody else, you're gonna have to give me like double what they put down. Maybe triple.
I was gonna say triple.
Yeah, because you're still cutting the line.
On.
Exactly. You're still cutting the fucking line. But yeah, if you ever want to get something, just think about it. This is, I can do this for $400 plus your shipping. Exactly. So
they better enjoy that shit while it lasts too. Okay.
Because my commission started at $300 years ago. Now I'm at $400, and I think maybe in another year or two, this right here may cost you $600, and I may add another $200 on to my standard commissions, just because my name is growing in popularity, and over the years my skills and my talents continue to increase, and so I'm just gonna have to charge more. But right now, yeah, $400. But what I do is, and how I kind of just like roughly estimate my prices. Like I say, this is my starting canvas. Every size increase that goes up from here is $100 flat. Like if you want the next size canvas up, which is like a 22 by 28, you want to go up one size, you got to add an extra $100 onto it already. So I normally I normally start with the canvas size as my base price for numbers. So you want a 22 by 28, that's already $500. And you want 3 people in the picture, that's an extra $100 per face. So you get the one face for free. So we're looking at $500 plus 3 people. So that's another $200 for the additional faces. So that's already a $700 paint just for the size and the amount of faces that I have to paint. Now, do I have to paint the whole bodies on each person? That's another $100 per full body. Is there a background? Depending on how much details there is in the background, trees, cars, clouds, birds, cats. What kind of clothes are they wearing? Do they have like lace and frill and polka dots and pinstripes? All that shit start to add up. And so you can get a $400 paint, or you can get a fucking $2,000 paint, depending on what kind of picture you want done. I didn't talk that shit out. But this is like when she showed me the picture. When the client showed me the picture, I was like, "Yep, I can. That's a nice $400 paint right there." I whipped that shit out in a week. $400. That's a nice little paycheck for a couple hours of work. But then at the same time, like you can tell the quality of the photo for that one that I used, and the more detail you can see in this painting, because the photo was more detailed. So the better quality, the source image, the better the painting is going to look. The better quality the source image, the more details I can see, the more details I can paint. Nice. And it takes a while too. Like when somebody spends money on art, is a luxury item. You know, you don't need art to live. You don't need art to. Some people say, I need it. Me personally, I need that shit to survive. You know? But some people don't need art. And so when you do engage in art, it's just for like leisure and luxury reasons. It's not something mandatory. And so it takes a while for someone to really decide on what do I want. It's kind of like a tattoo, but more intense, kind of. Well, not really. Tattoos are intense because you walk around with that art on your body and you can't never get rid of it or take it off. You can't never leave it behind, or the most you can do is cover it up. put some clothes on or something so that people don't see it. But like, tattoos are a fucking extreme and intense form of art, especially for the person who's purchasing the art. You know what I'm saying? They've made a very hard decision to live with this for the rest of their fucking lives. You know what I'm saying? If I buy a Basquiat and I spend like 10 million, I'm like, fuck. And my wife is like, oh, why you spend fucking 10 million on the paint? You know, I ain't really gotta live with that. I can just go sell it again, you know. But you get that fucking tattoo, that's rap, nigga. You're not getting rid of that. You're not trading that. You're not selling that. You can cover that shit up with clothes or with another tattoo. Or they got the new laser shit now, but they say that shit hurt like getting the tattoo. Oh yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I remember the last time I did something for $40. I was like 11. Say nah. Yeah, and then trust me, this is a conversation that all new artists have. I've had this shit like 1,000 times over. Is like, how do you price your art? How do you price your art? And I asked that question like 1,000 times and got all different kind of answers. Some people do it by time. Some people do it by square inch on the canvas. Some people do it just by the size of the image or whatever. I don't know. I factor in a lot of different uh, variables and vectors into coming up with a solid price. And I always try to make it like a good round number: 700, 750, 775. You charge a motherfucker $131.79 for a paint.
Y'all got all that?
How many? $222, 22 cents. They get that done.
Wow. I'm looking up the most influential and best quote unquote photos of all time. And the shit I'm finding, I'm mesmerized.
How did they capture that at the right moment?
At the right moment. And that's the thing, it's so sad that I'm like enjoying the photo, but like that shit is so raw.
It could have been a film.
Yeah, like the little boy looks scared, but he don't look terrified. He's just like, wee.
I wonder what floor they're on though. Motherfuckers probably fell to their death. If that's a ninth floor.
July 22nd of 75, a fire on Marlboro Street, 5th floor fire escape. They were swimming through the air.
5th floor? Yeah, they're gonna kill you.
Oh no.
Like
the 19-year-old died.
This guy's commission, like he was very specific in what he wanted.
Wow. So the 19-year-old, this one right here that fell, she fell first so the baby could fall on her, and she died, and her goddaughter survived.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, for the 5th floor, oh my God.
I thought that was a little boy versus a little girl. At least she saved her god baby.
Yeah, there's from the 5th floor. There's no way like to even.
No, but that picture is amazing though. But I'm just like, damn. And at least the baby lived. Like that's the good thing. The baby lived. But like a 19-year-old girl died though. That's crazy. And this is in 1975. I've never heard about this. This one is so good. It's unique.
Yeah, this is very unique. So I'm just waiting on this to dry, and I'll varnish this and ship this off. I don't think he ever sent me his Oh, no, 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 no. He told me he wants me to hold this until he figures out what his next painting is gonna be. Because he wants another one already. But this is mostly dry now. But this commission did turn out really good.
I've seen this. Yeah, he should be excited. That's why he was like, as soon as he saw that finished product, he was like, I want another one. This shit is just so like, he wouldn't have got that anywhere else. He got a one of a kind.
You want to get a video of me varnish finish?
Sure. The Hindenburg disaster. Now that shit was crazy, yeah.
There's tons of photos from that though.
Zeppelins and skylines. Boom, boom, boom. Da-da-da-da-da. Do I need to like stand behind you or you want to stand this way?
I don't know. What do you think?
Let me take a video without you doing it so you can see the different angle. I'll do it this way. I'll turn it this way. And then,
There's an app in there that I have too where you can slow up and speed down.
so watch this because I did like two different angles of both. They gotta be flipped around. Or
Oh no, from
I
behind.
felt like from over there it's like more point.
Yeah, but from behind me, I'm gonna be in the shot though. More
Okay.
like obstructed in the shot. Or I don't know. How can you? What's the best shot without it?
If all of that stuff wasn't in the way, I could come back a little bit and get the painting in the back, get you and get you varnishing. No? Okay.
How about you go around? You start here, and then go around, and then over there with a close up. I always like it sideways. You see more, but that shit don't play right for Instagram. It plays better for YouTube sideways. And that's when the fucking little things, the stabilizer.
We have it.
Huh?
We have that, the little stick, how it's still. But I just wanted you to look at it to see how it's gonna.
It looks nice like that.
Alright.
But no, it's the little thing, the gyroscopic thing that won't. It just keeps the phone steady, even though your hand moves around. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You got one of those? No.
There's a clip, and then it got the little piece on it, and then it got the stick, and you can put it. If you put it together and hold it as a stick, you can lock it into place. I mean, it's not like a total stabilizer, but it works as a stabilizer as long as you close the stick.
Yeah,
It's like a 2-in-1. But you wanted me to get you in it too.
huh?
So you wanted me to get you in it too.
Very little. It's not about.
So like I'm gonna get your face right here while you doing what you doing.
Really? Like my whole face.
It don't matter. It's big. Donald said peace out. That looks good, huh? Ooh wee. Toe dro.
Yeah, it's just. I say all these shit's my favorite, man, but them motherfucking toes, bro, that shit right there, that shit hot. I don't give a fuck nobody would say.
Everything's my favorite.
Man,
You know.
I wish I would have been in that shit when I first had the idea, bro. That's it.
Well, I'm glad I was the first. Feel special.
That shit do make motherfuckers look twice like, is that? What the fuck? It's just
You
like, I
know
love that shit, yo.
And you know, for the first time, I understood how you felt because when you had that show and I had my feet out, everybody was like, those are your feet. And I had the same color toes and everything. And they were
Everybody
like,
can see that shit.
oh.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like people recognize my feet. I hope to keep in touch. Thank you for your conversation. Peace.
Peace, bro. Thanks, man. I'm here all the time, bro. Stop back in whenever you got some free time. Hit the notification bell, bro.
Thanks, Donald. Peace and love.
We'll see how often I be in here. Right.
Peace, love, and weed.
I need to wash this out.
No, wash it out.
We're gonna wash this and I'll be right back. I'm gonna just do it for real shit real quick, man. I'll be right back, guys. Maybe somebody's in here. I need to change this. Alright. Hey, you gonna sit out here when you come in?
Mm-hmm. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. What's up? You were waiting to come in here? You were locked out? You didn't even bark to come in. You ain't even bark to come in, baby. Yes, hi. Yes. What, baby? What? What? What's wrong? You need to go out? Go tell your father. Go tell Travis. Go tell Travis. Go. She just went out, but she might gotta go number 2 now. Well, clearly not, because she ran back upstairs. Go, baby. Go with Travis. Go. 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 Call it. You ain't say I'm coming. She came back upstairs to tell him. That's some shit. She said, if you ain't come fast enough, I'm going to get my mother. What's that? Walk it out. Now talk it out. I'm about to go make some music. Make some music. You feel better?
Be aggravated.
Really? Honestly though, I'm about to make her a vet appointment now because her stomach, look at her stomach, man. Come here, dude. Come here, dude. Hey, come here. Come here.
You got a bunch of rashes, but
When you took her to the groomers, did they ask you if you wanted to use the tangerine bath or whatever, something, something? Because normally they'll ask, and I told them no, don't use that. Use the hypoallergenic. And I wanted to use something else on her, because that happened another time when they used something new and then she broke out. But she's been real whiny today, so I don't know if she don't feel good, but or if it's that new tick spray that I've been using on her.
y'all done clicked on that advertisement like 3 times by accident. Like, they've had that shit out there for a couple weeks.
What?
That that content, it looks like hidden content, and you click on it, and it's like a food advertisement.
Oh, the thing I tagged you in, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
that.
shit a couple of times already. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. That was cute. Now it's gonna get played out fast, but it was cute. Woo! Banfield's far as shit.
That's a good video.
You said what? A good video? Good. And you can spice it, like the little pieces in between. I just wanted the transition to be like slightly smooth.
So this is what I came up with to start with. Well,
Yeah, because I was gonna say, where'd you get the photo on the people thing?
so Glennis did this.
Nice.
That's it. That was the drive. So we changed the tweet, and then okay, after she posted that, and I did this. I was like, nigga, like add something to it. I just looked up black people formal dress or something images, and then found this. And then was like, oh cool. And this shit is like, hey Trav, thinking about the flyer drive you created, can you make an illustration of a black couple? I'm like, Jesus Christ. Add me a picture, man. Just use a fucking picture, man. Just a fucking picture. What the fuck, bro? So then I'm like, trying to fucking draw some shit.
Jeez. The next available appointments are until October. And then the one that's available tomorrow or Friday, look how far it is away.
That's like 2 hours.
Right. But if that don't go away, no, I'm gonna look somewhere else. She's been to a vet before. I just have to request her films to be sent. An online vet?
Like I did have the tablet up here. I noticed, like, since I got the phones and the pad sync, my pictures will come up on both. Like, if I take a picture with the tablet, that should come to my phone too. And the photos. If I take a photo with this shit, it'll be in there in the photos.
On your iPad?
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have told you that. Yeah, fucking with you, baby.
I don't want to see your photos.
But that shit, that's cool as shit though. I like that.
That's connected.
Like I say. And then sometimes, like,
when you get me an Apple Watch for a holiday gift, then mine will be connected.
it won't delete it though. Like I can delete from my phone and it still stay on the tablet. So you delete from the tablet or vice versa. Like if it pop up on there, you can if you delete
it's like
it
a backup.
Yeah. And that's why I like that shit. So now like I can clear out my whole all the new photos. Like I'm thinking about deleting like a bunch of like the kid pictures I took because I love having them those images, but like do I really use them? And I already emailed them, so they're out there. You know, they're in the email and they're backed up on the tablet. And like the event from Saturday, do I need to keep those pictures on my phone? Like, but I'd be hating to delete that shit though, because they be cool pictures of like shit I did. You know what I'm saying? Like good times and stuff. But then it's like my phone be fucking, my photos be fucking taking up all the fucking storage on my goddamn phone, yo.
Oh yeah, videos.
And that's the thing, like all your workout videos are still on here, and it's just like that shit slow your phone down sometimes. Then you be like, it take like 40 seconds for a text message to come to me, a minute
Speaking of which,
sometimes.
that last one, that last workout video.
She was pissed off as fuck this morning. I couldn't even get a good fucking picture of her, yo. She was so fucking mad.
That's what happens with women sometimes.
So fucking mad. Her face looked stank as shit all
I
morning.
was feeling stank. 20 minutes in, I smiled. Did not.
But then that's what I'm saying. Like all these videos, do I keep them? Do I delete them? But like I say, since they come on the tablet, I feel more comfortable deleting these shits now.
Yeah, or delete the older ones first that you don't need. Like that's what I do. Start all the way in the back of the phone. Juice thing just said wake up.
Yo, Juice, what it do?
Kind of getting hungry again. You still not hungry yet?
Yeah. What you think about like all these whip photos?
Well, let's see. There's pizza left.
I
There's
can do the
listen.
pizza.
No, just hear me out. You didn't even finish. There's pizza left. There's pho left that still has chicken in it, or pho guy. There's pho guy left. And what else? I made ground beef. That's really good.
Oh, the tacos.
Yeah, I made some ground beef. It's kind of spicy. I shredded up some cheese, and then there's taco sauce down there, and there's nachos. And you could like melt your I put queso on mine, but you could put your spinach dip in yours if you want, because that's basically is it cheese and spinach, or is it like cream cheese and spinach that dip?
It's just like creamy.
It's spinach dip.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
so
cheese.
you're not gonna want that in there. Never mind. But anyway, I did nachos, but there's burritos down there. There's hard tacos down there, and when I run out to the store, I'll make like a hearty meal tomorrow. But I just made those tacos so we could have something else besides pho, because we gonna be eating pho all week.
Oh my god, there's so much.
So yeah, you want like some chips and sour cream sauce and meat.
That sounds real nice right now.
Alright, anything else?
No, I might have one of them ginger sodas.
I'll grab it for you when I come back up.
Watch
Come on.
this.
Why don't you just take your time to make sure you're not deleting nothing you don't want to delete?
143, and that's just all crappy shit. Like pictures I just took of the pasta salad and shit this afternoon.
Multiple photos. LOL. It did not want you to delete that picture.
My fucking ramen noodles that I posted. Like, just think face videos. Like,
What's
I just
that?
take pictures. That's the wash spray. I just got a bunch of dumb shit in my. I follow y'all all these dumbass pictures.
Who that girl right there?
I don't know who that chick
Oh,
is.
don't delete my picture.
It's in the tablet now, though. That's what I'm saying.
But you ain't even send it to me yet. You can send it from the
I
tablet.
can send it from the iPad.
You positive?
And I meant to send that picture to Jim. I'm standing by the truck, but I might send that to him before I do. But it's in the tablet. That's why I keep
So, don't delete my picture.
I'll send it.
You should still have pictures of me on your phone.
That shit's still like 140 some shit.
It's gonna take you a couple days to get everything deleted.
I sat the fucking center with the university kids. I'm getting all them shits out of here. Jason.
Oh, y'all were playing. And I was gonna say, what's that?
Jason threw the fucking drop cords in the trash can.
Why?
I don't know, and that's why I took a picture and I texted to him. I'm like, Jay, did you mean to throw these drop cords away? He's like, no, I don't know why I did that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fish them out. But they were in there, I had to go get a fucking broom and like hook the fucking drop cords. I'm like, bro, because we were just out there using the drop cords. We cut the fucking poles down.
You can tell he's a very smart man, but he having so much on his plate that
he just like,
in another
he
world.
threw some shit in the trash. He's like, oh, threw the cords in there too. Like, bro, these are. Because I was gonna leave him like he couldn't have meant to do that. These are good cords. We just used the cords. What are you doing, Jason? That shit was funny as shit. I wanted to put LOL behind that shit too. Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
What are you doing?
Like you say, he just got so much on his mind. That motherfucker threw the cords in the trash can. Both of them. He threw 2 fucking drop cords in the big, not in the trash can, in the big dumpster. Like, how the fuck you do that shit, bro?
You just so used to throwing shit away.
Yo, he just what?
Throw this away.
Yo, Cash, what's good, bro?
Don't throw this motherfucker out.
Everything, fuck.
Ah, y'all so funny.
Yo.
You don't give no fucks.
Yo, I'm about fucking tipsy, and I ain't even started painting yet. Trying to delete pictures on my phone, yo. I've been here for an hour. I did do something though. I did something. I varnished the painting. That is something. You know? I varnished the painting. Yep. Got that done. So next thing I want to do is I want to change out these napkins here. And get me some fresh, well, paper towel, I guess. Let's get some fresh paper towels. Oh, wait a minute. Next to utilize this, may be able to utilize both pieces. So here, check this out. Ha ha ha. Still got some clean spots. All the clean spots. Alright. Oh yeah. Alright. So, first of all, I need to get the photo, my reference. It may be in here. Wah, 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 wah. So, it's not in that one. Shabam! Shaboogie. Let's get that reference photo together, you know what I'm saying? That's money. Get that reference photo. That ghost in the shell. What? Come on, man. You don't know about that ghost. You know about that ghost in the shell? I think that's what I might work on.
All the stuff on A-Rod, like there's so much of your work. The petrifying, I'm a Florida native, you know, and a lifelong Miamian, and I think the petrifying thing that I've learned through the years, it's not my theory. T.D. Allman called Miami the city of the future, and effectively the Florida of today is the America of tomorrow. And more importantly, the Miami of today, more specifically, the Miami of today is the America of tomorrow. So if you didn't know what challenges will face or calamities will befall us as a nation in the years or even decades to come, you need only look at the canary in the coal mine, which is South Florida. Do you think that's because of it's very vulnerable to climate change, first of all, right? Like there's estimates about how long Miami can last. Yeah, not good. Yeah, they think it got about 2 decades, right? Isn't that the
She takes a picture, and in that picture is this ET. He puts the camera over that.
current thought?
I'm a renter. Let me put you that way. I've lived there my whole life. I don't own any property in Miami.
That's probably a good move.
I'm not foolish.
It seems like it's going to go underwater, right?
Yeah, it'll definitely be underwater. It's just a question of when.
It's all like there, like the ground itself is very porous. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we have reclaimed wetlands. That's Miami Beach. That's where Champlain Towers is. Reclaimed wetlands. What does that mean? It was fucking mangroves.
Swamps.
Yeah, swamp. And that we reclaimed, which means we filled it in, and there's still porous limestone underneath that. Champlain Towers only had water coming at it from the front to back, above, below. But other than that,
what up,
it's
guys?
totally dry.
This is the tower that collapsed.
Yeah. Just battered. We're getting battered.
Recently got finished doing some commissions, so now I'm back to working on my own stuff. Yo, let's get back to it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yo, I love working on commissions. They are some of the best projects ever because a lot of the commissions I work on, I wouldn't have thought of them myself. And sometimes I get some really cool pictures to paint. But now, since all my commission work is done for the moment, I can focus on my own art. And so this is a picture that I photographed myself. I'm going to do a series of still lifes. This is the first still life in the series. This is entitled Movie Night. And so, yeah, we're going to sit here and work on movie night for a while. Yeah, thanks.
Happen every September, October, and November. Not the entire time, but there's like a week here, a weekend there for those 3 months. It is what we call sunny day flooding. So it has to do with the tides. It has to do with the distance between the sun and the moon and Earth, and it floods in the sunlight. We can get as much as 12 inches above the highest high tide of the year.
So it's not from rain?
It's not. Now, here's the problem. We're still in hurricane season, which means rain exacerbates it. Inclement weather we're totally fucked when it rains on top of the king tides. But this is just like a day, like you just, if you were in a low-lying area or waterfront or oceanfront, bayfront, that's just what, sunny day. It'd be perfectly beautiful, and you could have as much as 12 inches above the highest high tide.
So it's just an unusual level of the ocean.
Yeah, it's just a quirk of the tides. It happens every year, off and on for 3 months. Yeah, that's in the we call it sunny day flooding. That's a thing that we have there. I mean, you know, Miami, we make it rain, but we have sunny day flooding is a thing.
And there's nothing they can do like New Orleans, like put up some sort of a wall, a dam.
So the Army Corps of Engineers proposed a kind of futuristic, post-apocalyptic, after the flood, well, pre-flood, kind of a wall. And Miami said, no gracias, no thank you. We don't want that. We'll fend for ourselves.
Did they say no because it was too expensive, or did they say no because...
No, the Army Corps of Engineers, I think, was going to be federally funded. They just didn't want this unsightly, unseemly kind of wall in our beautiful town. But what they do want is they wanted a signature bridge. We're building like this $800 million bridge that we don't need. But it's super pretty, as we say in Miami. It's super pretty.
And someone probably got a good deal.
Oh, you better believe the contractors. That's the thing. That's why the Miami of today is the America of tomorrow. It's really the corruption, dysfunction, nonstop construction. That's really what it is. It's this anything goes, Wild West kind of mentality. Because, I said this before on the show, LA is where you go when you want to be somebody. New York is where you go when you are somebody. And Miami is where you go when you want to be somebody.
Long time no see, bro.
It's always been a sunny place for shady people. The Florida Man phenomenon. It's just like, if you have... It's not New England. It's not what's your name, who's your daddy. Everyone's nouveau riche in Miami. So no one cares where your money came from. As long as the booze is flowing and everybody's dancing, the music's playing, nobody gives a shit.
And it's always been that place. It's always been that party place. You were telling me before about how during was it the 70s, the 80s, these recording artists would go down to Miami.
Listen, Miami is it's America's Casablanca. And so some of the biggest records of all time. Back when that was a business, like you'd sell tens of millions of albums. Everybody went to Miami. Eric Clapton was one of the first. Jimmy Buffett, the Bee Gees, the Eagles, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, the Allman Brothers, Fleetwood Mac, and they were doing all those records that we all still know today from the 70s. They recorded, mixed or mastered, at least in part. Glenn Frey and Don Henley wrote the lyrics to Hotel California in a rented mansion on Miami Beach. Where that had been the love nest of Howard Hughes and Ava Gardner. Winston Churchill used it as a winter home, and the Watergate burglars and Howard Hunt used it as well. And then Stephen Stills used it. He was hanging out there with like Shel Silverstein. It was like
Shel Silverstein.
And then eventually the Eagles came down to do Hotel California and wrote the lyrics. They locked themselves, these two guys, in a fucking room. and the housekeeper left sandwiches and drinks at the door because the door was closed. And they came down in bathrobes one day with legal pads, yellow legal pads, and said, we have the lyrics. And so everybody, and it was a communal scene too. It's kind of like your place.
Wow.
Everybody sort of like stops by. Yeah, people stop by. It was like that because you had all these artists.
Try this S one more time.
In every
and then get
room, like so, there was pickup basketball games outside. You drive up and there'd be the Bee Gees playing the Allman Brothers, playing Eric Clapton at a pickup basketball game. And they to this day, Criteria Studios, they had a wooden upright piano. And the rumor has it one day there was an artist, I won't mention the name, was playing and had a baggie of cocaine on the top of the piano. He was playing, and the baggie fell, open, fell, boom, puff of smoke on the keys of the piano, appropriately. And he grabbed the bag and salvaged what he could, and then for the next several months, the people at the studio would stick a straw between the keys on the piano and try to, mostly dust they were probably stored, but like would just try to salvage whatever they could from there. So the joke was that they had a line item on the bills, because that's the thing, they were away from the watchful eyes and ears of the labels, which were all based in New York and LA. So they would go to Miami and no one knew what the fuck was going on. I didn't have publicists or producers or executives rather from the recording studio. So they would send them bills to pay for the studio time. There'd be a line item for cocaine, but you couldn't say cocaine. And I think, by the way, cocaine was, at that time, was probably part of the appeal of bringing the artists to Miami, to be fair.
Probably, right?
But it was under the category of piano tuning. Was the cocaine? So you get
wow. Well, what do you need this extra $800 for? It's piano tuning, nigga. My piano gotta be in tune. You talking? Oh, $5,000 for piano tuning.
So what's with all this fucking piano tuning?
What is this piano tuning you guys be paying for?
But there was a band came down in the 80s.
He only takes cash.
And then they came down again in the
He's the
90s.
best piano tuner in Miami, though.
His mom was the manager before him. So he was a little kid running around this scene. If you can imagine a little Miami in the 70s running around this scene. This is an incredible place. Aretha Franklin did the Respect record at Criteria. James Brown did I Feel Good, recorded that song at Criteria.
He recorded that in Miami? Oh, damn. This motherfucker dropping some shit right now, yo.
Make me want to move to Miami. I don't like it like that.
50 years ago, never back in the late 70s, early 80s doing this record.
Miami in the 70s and 80s, though?
So that sound like that shit was swinging, ain't it?
Whatsoever.
Yo, matter of fact, that movie with Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali and all them motherfuckers, that was in Miami.
Into the neighborhood, it's like residential.
I'm not leaving you. Roll it out.
Into the neighborhood, to this woman's house, and she brought out
She wants to do so damn bad.
entire kilo of cocaine. I've never seen that before. She put it down on the coffee table. We're sitting on the couch. And she put it down on this big bed. She put it down on the coffee table.
Y'all guys just gonna have to watch me eat from it.
And all I
Oh,
remember
shit.
from my entire experience in Miami is the
Yeah, I forgot I was on Instagram, too. Alright, guys, I'll holla at y'all. Appreciate y'all watching. I know when he did, like, one letter.
Cocaine is opened up
But shit gonna be hot when it's
before
done,
you,
though.
and it hits you.
Have you ever done coke?
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But hearing that, I want to snap. I just want to know. I want to know what that's like. Watch the
Joe Rogan never did coke? That's hard to believe, yo. Motherfucker that did ayahuasca and DMT and a bunch of other shit. But he got all the fucking money in the world, yo. Like, Joe Rogan got all the money in the world. He ain't never tried coke. I don't know. I'm the boozy. What a doozy, bro. I've never tried coke. I don't think I ever will.
But I respect him for at least doing it the right way, though. He do like the pure shit. He do it the right way.
Yeah, everything else, he tried like a bunch of, he talks about his psychedelic trips and all this shit, and he like cranum, he takes cranum capsules and
this business, like the entertainment, it's like
That's what I was gonna say. I'm pro weed and pro whatever the
he
fuck you
smokes
want.
an ass of weed and fucking takes that, he drinks liquor, but he didn't smoke cigars. But the motherfucker said he never tried coke. That's pretty good shit. Mm-hmm. It's Tuesday? Yeah, we've had a crazy couple of days, yo. Like, it don't even feel like it's Tuesday. It feel like it's Thursday already. Like, just please.
I don't even feel like it's any day. I'm just like, oh my god.
Like, please just get this shit over with already.
Yeah, like reset.
And then I got some shit to do tomorrow. I'm like, oh my god. And then the board members are gonna be there. Like, what should I wear? Like, do I take something to change in? Or just wear like my outreach shirt?
That's the safest option. Hi, I came to pretend that I want to be.
I don't want to be at that bitch all day though. Like,
That's what I said. Hi, I came to pretend I want to be there. But definitely, the college shirt, I would say. Just because it's a bit nicer.
Man, oh man. This shit's so good right now.
You know how you look in the fridge as a kid and you're like, ain't no food in there. And grandma comes back with a meal?
Yeah.
This was one of those. Like, what can I make that we haven't had recently? Besides tacos or spaghetti. That salmon was pretty good too the other day, but I still gotta go back to the chicken. No, we ate good though.
Yeah.
We had salmon, we had pho, and now we having nachos.
I had a big ass burger too.
Oh yeah, you did have a big burger.
The accent.
We had a pretty good breakfast this morning. And when we tried to get breakfast the other day.
So, what do you guys think about Biden right now, yo? So this motherfucker, his approval rating is plummeting fast. Like,
all I know is that if you give the IRS access to look at my bank account, we got to fight.
Yo, this motherfucker, yo.
And where the hell is Kamala?
That Iraq, the Afghanistan shit, and that vaccine mandate, man, that shit about to fuck this nigga up, yo. And then his second in command, quiet as a mouse.
I haven't heard anything.
Yo, that bitch don't want to say nothing about nothing to nobody about nothing about nobody what she heard, yo. That bitch quiet, super quiet.
She don't want to say nothing wrong.
Put her foot in her mouth. And that's, if you look back at the Obama presidency, that's what Biden did. Like, cause motherfuckers already seen this motherfucker getting old and weird, and so during the Obama administration, yo, you ain't heard too much from Biden. He's like, yo, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, bro.
Right.
Nobody want to hear that
Everybody was
dumbass
like,
shit.
oh, he was in with Obama, so
Nobody want to hear your dumb ass. That's why he was quiet as shit during the Obama administration. Now Camilla doing the same fucking shit, yo. He's a kook.
Oh, I heard a cook. I Mrna cook. I was like, huh?
This motherfucker loony is all hell.
I mean, but who's this controller though?
I was told that to ask CNN the question first, so you go ahead. You was told by who? You the president, nigga. You supposed to tell everybody else what to do.
You know who else? I'm so glad that people finally woke up to, yo. You already know who. I hate him more than anybody.
Who?
Fauci, yo.
Oh.
I cannot stand that motherfucker. Him and Biden, I hate them equally. I think I hate Fauci more though.
We did not fund gain of function research. Yes, you did.
Oh, and Biden's son is gonna be the death of him too. All those leaked videos of him giving information to like street girls he's sleeping with, and
Motherfucker, why you recording yourself with a hooker, dude? Like, be for real, my nigga.
right, and she didn't even have to record you because you did it yourself.
Be for real, my nigga. Yeah, because my dad's running for president. They can try to blackmail me for all kinds of shit.
Damn,
Why
I
you
guess I should
telling?
have gave you more, huh?
Hell yeah.
I keep saying.
Why you telling this bitch all your business?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like he wants to get caught. Or does he just suffer from that I want to be cool syndrome?
Yeah, that's it. You see how cool I am? You see how powerful I am? I move in circles with Russians, Palestinians, Ukrainians. My dad running for president. I'm super powerful, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Man, get the fuck out of there, bro. You nobody.
Lame as hell. Damn, that shit was good. Sorry, Boozy, they saved you now. Look at her. She bad as
So
shit.
yeah, you know that shit like.
Man, I got that good hot. You don't know about that.
That's probably the best ginger I've ever had. I can't lie.
That shit say hot.
Oh my god.
Aha! Taking some pictures for the gram. The motherfuckers gonna drink that shit right there, yo.
I ain't never really met a lot of people who even heard of that shit. Alright.
There are nothing Kennedys.
You put them in here, roll it down.
Alright, I got this thing.
What's that?
Damn it, Cap. Just go on this motherfucker. That still ain't the right one.
Oh, wow. Oh. It's a nifty invention.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the two-piece one. Except it actually leaves it like that.
Yeah, get all the fucking paint off that bitch, yo. Or
Take it
as
to the
much
next
as,
level.
yeah, or at least as much as humanly possible. Cause I always feel bad, like when I throw away tubes of paint, and just like, I just know there's still paint in there, yo. Yeah, but again though, since I got one for the smaller tubes, like they got these little plastic roly things.
Won't waste no more.
I got these for like small tubes of paint, and they work pretty good. You just use it to roll your paint out, but like for the bigger tubes, you got to get something different for that shit. And even with my small tubes, I probably just run it through that little crank now. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Crank all that shit.
might as well.
And get my money's worth. Where my other look? Let me get my money's worth. Alright, so now I need those paint tins. I put them somewhere.
You what?
Those paint pins you got me? Might be under there somewhere.
That's where they were.
No, they're right here on the easel.
finally came in handy.
I don't use it, pretty. Right, the Chinese letters on there.
Mm-hmm.
I use pink pen for that
Here
shit.
you go. Right there. Look. Get it. Get it. She's like, that's not meat then. Get it. Fine, I'll set him.
You know what? I wouldn't mind watching a really good in-depth Kennedy documentary. Because a lot of them niggas got assassinated.
They got a black cloud over them.
When they pops was on some shit though.
Oh no, you ain't want my chip just now. Now you sniffing.
They pops was on that mafia shit for real, for real. And that's why he couldn't get the presidency.
They had him,
But
had them do his
he
work.
finagled his way to get one of his sons in that shit though. And they were like fucking Ken and Barbie. They were like the fucking American royalty or whatever.
Right.
Damn, matter of fact, I'm gonna YouTube that shit now. There. Unseen video, The Curse of Kennedy. The Kennedys Cursed. Full documentary. The Kennedys. The troubled history of a cursed family.
Cursed.
The legacy of the Kennedys.
Cursed.
I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers really thought these niggas was cursed like that?
Told you there's a black cloud over them.
I've never felt
And they
so
still be
close
finding
to
Kennedys
the
missing.
possibility of disclosure. The Nephilim, the giants. You can't make up that kind of stuff.
The Kennedy family has long been plagued by tragedy and scandal. Despite
You
this,
alright?
the Kennedys
You
have
alright?
long been profiled as America's favorite family.
I'll probably be here like hit the 2 hour mark and I'm done.
So good 2 more hours.
They also
I'm gonna hit the 2 hour mark and then wrap it up.
in difficult times.
My fellow citizens of the world,
I ain't gonna do no painting today. I just kind of thought and varnished that.
But you did get what you needed to get done. And you're
The
enjoying
many
yourself.
misdeeds and tragedies of his family has only
But no, are you playing the game when you come downstairs?
Hmm?
You playing the game when you come downstairs?
What?
I heard you playing the game when you come downstairs.
Maybe. Why, you wanna watch TV or something?
Yes, I want to watch our show. You just gonna have to catch up if you want to play the game. I'm gonna watch it without you. I enjoy watching you play the game, but like we're right in the middle of something so good on Manifest, and I just can't wait. Oh, you didn't even see everything that happened. Oh my God! So now I gotta rewatch this shit with you. Can I tell you what happened? I can. All right. I'm gonna let you share this. I'll tell you after.
Most commonly known by his nickname Ted, he served as the United
That's
States Senator for almost
But if you want to play the game, it's not a problem.
That's my new good show now.
I know. Well, I've been watching you play it. Like, see, I missed a lot in the game. I was like, damn, how'd she get right here? And now I'm pissed off because you played without me while I wasn't there, and now I missed the story plot. But Bro, something's so good right now, Manifest, you don't even know what you missed. And I need to watch one episode of it. Because I only watch it with you. But now I got my mom watching it, and she's about to beat you, so she's about to be my new watching buddy if you don't catch up.
This is a wonderful day.
And we're still in season 1. Uh-huh. Did we go to season 2? We're still in season 1.
There's like 16, 17 episodes in the first season.
And it's not like we sit there and binge watch it. We watch like an episode and then that's it. Too busy now. You busy, I'm busy.
Who gave her a heart. And a very special thank you to all who served. This bill is poured for you and by you.
I don't have nothing to do. You know what I did to the meat today too? Put a little bit of basil
I
in
will
it.
never forget the 5th anniversary of the Peace Corps, where I sat the very first group of volunteers. I asked each of them why they decided to become involved, and they said,
How your whole family politicians? Your brothers are goddamn
anyone asked them to do anything.
president, you got congressmen, senators, and everybody.
Today,
I'm
another
like the Bush
young
family.
president has challenged another generation to give back to this nation. Last spring at Wesleyan University, candidate Barack Obama summoned our nation to a new era of service. He said, I believe with all my heart that this generation is ready and eager and up to the challenge. Mr. President, I couldn't agree more. Don't you? You have inspired a new generation of Americans, and your own example and your own call recognize that. You have walked the walk, and today you have paved it for many, many others. I'm deeply honored to introduce him now, my friend, our leader, the President of the United States.
You know, right.
With ADHD, save 10 hours studying this chromatin. But no, by all means, go.
Pleased to have with us renowned inventor of the mRNA vaccine technology. As a researcher at the Salk Institute, he pioneered in vitro RNA transfection technology. He subsequently pioneered many new innovations in the fields of RNA vaccination and immunization. We welcome his expertise is Dr. Robert Malone. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for the opportunity, Jimmy, and I look forward to.
Pleased to have with us renowned inventor of the mRNA vaccine technology. As a researcher at the Salk Institute, he pioneered in vitro RNA transfection technology. He subsequently pioneered many new innovations in the field of RNA vaccination and immunization. We welcome his expertise. He is Dr. Robert Malone. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for the opportunity, Jimmy, and I look forward to sharing ideas with you and with your audience.
So, you seem to be the leading guy on mRNA vaccines. Could you explain to our audience what an mRNA vaccine is and how they protect against infectious diseases?
So that's a question that can carry us forward for the next 2 hours, or I can try to oversimplify everything. And so please forgive me, because that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Or we'll be able to talk about anything else. So I don't mean to in any way talk down to anyone, and if there's any molecular virologists in the audience, I apologize in advance. the core idea here, the insight, is that methods developed for gene therapy purposes or correct genetic errors, defects, can also be applied to generating immune response. So mRNA vaccines employ a molecule called RNA, is in most cases derived from DNA. So the virus itself, SARS-CoV-2, that's an RNA virus. That's how it carries its genetic information. It can be done either way, with DNA or with RNA in different viruses. But for this virus, it uses mRNA, it uses RNA. People are confused about the M part of the RNA. It's nothing to be afraid of. There are different types of RNA in cells. Some RNAs are used as scaffolding, as structure, for the little tiny biorobots inside of all of our cells called ribosomes that manufacture proteins. That's one kind of RNA, ribosomal RNA. RNA, the M stands for message, is the type of RNA that's used to carry information from the center part of your cell, the nucleus, where the DNA lives, out to those little protein manufacturing biorobots that are out in the cytoplasm, the outer part of your cell, that actually make the proteins. So don't be intimidated. The mRNA is just designating that it's one particular type of RNA. It's a message that goes to these little protein manufacturing facilities called ribosomes and causes them to make the protein from the virus, called spike in this case, and it's a slightly modified version of spike. It was designed to make that protein that's produced a little easier for your B cells to recognize to make antibodies. Now, there's a lot of information that data suggesting that actually that wasn't necessary, that modification, but it was believed to have been necessary back when they engineered the vaccine. Protein that's produced is largely the same as the spike protein produced from the virus. And we do know that the spike produced from the virus has certain types of toxicities. People that did the engineering were not aware of those toxicities and problems at the time they did it. They did make some modifications to the spike protein when they engineered it for putting it into these genetic vaccines, but they were designed specifically to make it more safe. They were designed to make it more immunogenic, a better immunogen. Now, the important thing to understand about this, I think, for all of us, is there are no perfect vaccines. Just like there are no perfect drugs. It's like if I, with my table saw or a drill or anything else, if I use it wrong, inappropriately, without caution, I can cut off my finger or do damage. Likewise, drugs and vaccines have to be used intelligently and cautiously. And we have to understand the risks so that we can avoid them when it makes sense. And so there's much discussion and consternation about the fact that we don't fully understand the risks of these experimental products. And I think that there's merit to that. But like with everything in life, there's risks when we get into an airplane. There's risks when we get into our cars. And all of us have learned to deal with those risks. What we think about, what we do, is we say, oh, when I get into my car and I need to go to the shopping center, is it a good idea to travel 65 an hour zone? No, probably not. There's a good chance you're going to get a car wreck. So we all the time make decisions about what we do and how we do it based on an understanding of risks. The same is true with medicines, and the same is true for physicians. What's important for us to understand is because we're going to take risks, we need to understand those risks. We need to have the information necessary for us to make an informed decision about whether or not we wish to take those risks. And that's kind of the core of my position here, is let's use the vaccines intelligently, and let's make sure that we really understand the risks, and that you and your audience understand the risks, because it's your body, and you have the right to accept or reject a medical treatment. I believe that is a fundamental right.
You should have known we'd return. You thought you saved your little reality. All you did was prepare it for us. So go on and gather what's left of your army. Ready your exit. And know that when we are done, only nothing will remain.
First, DC liberals have trillions. Now Americans face record inflation, paying more for gas and groceries, a hidden tax on the working class. Now Nancy Pelosi and her liberal allies are pushing new tax hikes, trillions and more spending, and another socialist healthcare plan to control what medicines you can get. A socialist prescription we can't afford. So call Matt Cartwright. Tell him to oppose Pelosi's socialist agenda.
As long as you left it there, let me just go ahead and I'm going to jump ahead and just ask you a question. What are the bioethics of current campaign to get the vaccine in everyone's arm?
Personally, I find this public position confusing. It's not consistent with my training and my understanding of the proper practice of medicine and the proper practice of regulatory oversight. These vaccines are known, the government acknowledges that there are risks associated with these vaccines. This was not the case 6 to 9 months ago. So now they've taken the position, they acknowledge there are risks, and the risks that they formally acknowledge in the licensure package for the BioNTech product are incomplete. There are known in the literature numerous other risks, and the FDA in that licensure package acknowledges that there are other risks that remain uncharacterized, risks such as birth defects, the extent of which the cardiac risks manifest, etc. In addition, there are many other risks, such as the activation of latent viruses. We know this as shingles, also Epstein-Barr virus, cytomegalovirus, and other viruses that can be triggered by vaccination, may also be triggered by the infection. So there is a portfolio of risks, only some of which are understood to any significant degree, many of which are known to exist, but they're not well characterized yet, even after all these many months of dosing of these experimental products. in my opinion, based on both decades of practice and international consensus as embodied in the Nuremberg trials, in the Helsinki Accord, and the Belmont Report here in the United States, and captured in the Code of Federal Regulations, that's to say federal case law, as what's commonly known as the common rule. There are well-established practices which must be followed for experimental products, and in general need to be followed for all medical procedures, such as when you go and have a surgery. You look like you're about in the same age bracket, more or less, as I am, and you may have experienced a colonoscopy or other practices, and if so, you'll recall when you had those that the surgeon came in and described, or whoever was going to perform the procedure, described the risks, and asked you if you willingly accepted those risks. That's typical medical practice. That's how we should perform medicine. We need to inform you of the risks in a full sense for a procedure or a medical product. Those have to be expressed in common language so that you can understand them. I can't hide those risks using fancy medical language. And you have to willingly accept those risks, whether it's an experimental product or a therapeutic or product that has already been approved. So 3 key things: full and complete disclosure of risks, as best as they're known at that time. The risks have to be communicated to you in language that you can understand. And you have the right, obligation, to willingly accept those risks. In my opinion, the right of the collective do not outweigh the rights of the individual, and that is explicitly true with medical practice. Now, there are those in the New York Times, the Washington Post, and others where you've seen op-eds. In, for instance, Atlantic Monthly, a journal that I'm not very happy with right now because of their attacking me. But you've seen these articles in the headlines of the Toronto Star, basically saying that it's acceptable to withhold medical care from those who have not taken vaccine.
What?
I strongly object to this, okay? So there is a logic that if you don't accept vaccine, you really don't deserve to be treated on the same basis as somebody who did if you come into the hospital. And that is a slippery slope. We go from there. So what's the next thing? Well, let's see. The people that are at highest risk are obese. Well, obesity is something that you could control. That's your fault. You had too many McFries and too much sugary Coca-Cola, and so it's your fault that you're obese and at high risk for COVID, so maybe we shouldn't treat you. Maybe we shouldn't treat you if you smoked. It goes on and on and on. How deep is that hole? I strongly object to that kind of logic, but it's being promoted both across the United States in high-profile, papers of record, and in Canada, across Canada, like the Toronto Star. So you ask about the ethics. I strongly object to vaccination for multiple reasons. I believe it's not ethical, and it's also not good medical practice from the standpoint of a virologist and vaccinologist. What we're doing by excessively using vaccine inappropriately for people who don't really need it is that we're driving the virus to be able to escape through evolutionary selection the benefits of the vaccine. And we all understand how this works intuitively because most of us are aware that the agricultural practice in feedlots and other places of medicating or chicken houses, of medicating poultry and livestock indiscriminately with antibiotics leads to antibiotic-resistant superbugs that then turn around and attack us, okay? It's the same basic logic. Overuse of vaccine will drive the development of viruses that are able to evade vaccination. Now, who cares? Because we know that natural infection provides broader, longer lasting, and up to 20-fold more effective immune response in terms of preventing reinfection than vaccine does. So if the vaccine is no longer effective, why should I care? Because I'll just get natural infection and that'll be better in the end anyhow. The answer is that we do have people in our population that are at high risk. The risk if you catch this virus and you're elderly, have significant other comorbidities like pre-existing heart conditions, obesity, or other characteristics, your risk is quite high. You know, it can range up to 50% probability of death depending on your pre-existing conditions. And the people that will suffer from this naive, inappropriate policy of global universal forced vaccination when the potent virus escape mutants develop is going to be those people that are at high risk, the people that most need vaccine. So what we're risk doing is destroying the one really effective weapon that we have. It's already happening. The effectiveness of the vaccine is dropping quite rapidly because of the evolution of the virus to escape it. This is one of the lessons coming out of Israel and the UK, is that high levels of vaccination are associated with escape mutants. Those escape mutants are able to infect even the vaccinated. The vaccinated do shed virus and replicate virus at levels at least that of those that are unvaccinated and maybe higher. They still do get disease, although maybe less disease. And in some ways that might be worse because that means the vaccinated that do have breakthrough infections are walking around feeling relatively healthy and yet producing and shedding just as much virus as the people that have received vaccine. And so we have a word for that. We call it super spreaders. This is just, the whole policy is poorly thought out, and so poorly thought out that you're left with wondering, people just not very aware and experienced. Is this incompetence? Or is this the consequence of the pressure of the pharmaceutical industry on the people making decisions? And I'm not those people. I can't get in their heads. I don't know what's going on. But there are a lot of signs that we're seeing what the term is regulatory capture. That really doesn't even cover what we're talking about. Say undue influence of the pharmaceutical industry on the entire public health enterprise decision-making process. Because you either are left saying these people are grossly incompetent or their decisions are being inappropriately influenced. It's hard for me to come up with other explanations.
So let me ask you, I heard say, so you're kind of explaining something I heard you say before, that we can't vaccinate our way out of this pandemic and we shouldn't be trying to do that. And you I think what you just did was kind of explain why. Can you just expand on that a little more?
So for me, you can appreciate I'm a little sensitive to people take credit for my ideas. And so it's really important to me to give credit to other people. It's, like I say, I've been sensitized. So in my case, there are many other physicians and scientists, and most notably Gert Gondenbosch, who I used to work with at Solvay, have pointed out that and really championed the logic and taken the hits in the press, in Wikipedia, and everywhere else for having done so, making the point that in a outbreak, when there is very active spread of high levels of virus, you cannot vaccinate your way out of the risk of that virus during an active outbreak with an imperfect, leaky vaccine. And that's what we have. We have a vaccine that currently, various estimates coming from Israel and other places, suggest that its ability to prevent infection
All right, guys, we out of here. Catch y'all next time.